Alright, we just got a breaking news article describing how Elon Musk is officially clashing with Donald Trump's top advisors over certain cabinet picks. And listen, we've all been wondering how long it would take for something like this to happen. We've all been wondering what happens when you put a bunch of colossal egos into one cabinet like some sort of weird demented science experiment while they're all vying for Daddy Trump's attention. They're all vying to be the puppet masters pulling the strings, and they all end up colliding. And no worries, there's not much at stake other than the American experiment. But for real, this Axios article reads, Musk, top Trump advisor clash over cabinet picks. Elon Musk has quickly become an influential figure in President-elect Trump's inner circle, but there are signs of tension between Musk and a longtime Trump advisor over cabinet appointments to the new administration. And just to recap really quickly, Elon Musk entered Trump's orbit as a massive donor, dropping over $119 million into Trump's campaign, moving to Pennsylvania, opening up an HQ, and even door-knocking himself. And if we even want to back up further from there, if we want to zoom out, this all actually started when Elon Musk spent $44 billion to buy Twitter, turned it into X, and just hemorrhaged money month by month, lost money. And we were all wondering for a while, why is he losing money? What's the longer play here? But the longer play was getting control over Donald Trump in all three chambers of Congress. Maybe not control, but he does certainly have Donald Trump's ear. And the question from here on out is, how long will that last? Because the cracks are immediately beginning to show. 2 weeks after Trump wins, not even, Musk's push for Treasury Secretary Howard Lutnick, which is a controversial choice, caused a blowout with top Trump advisor Boris Epshteyn. So let's dig into this. Make sure you drop a like. Make sure you subscribe to help boost this pro-democracy content. And really quickly, I want to remind you guys who Boris Epshteyn is. This article from a few months back reads, the emails provide new details of how a wing of the Trump campaign worked with outside lawyers and advisors to organize the fake elector plan and pursue a range of other options. Now, this article details how leaked emails show Trump advisor Boris Epshteyn, Trump lawyer John Eastman, and other Trump collaborators knowingly trying to subvert the will of the American people and use fake electors in place of the real electors. And just to recap, the electors are the representatives officially certified in each state to cast their state's vote for the president based on how that state voted. But instead of respecting that process and the certified electors, Trump and his team schemed to replace the real, duly appointed electors with fake ones, handpicked by his campaign, and they wanted to sleep overnight in buildings so they could pop up and be the fake electors. It wasn't just bending the rules, it was a direct attack on the democratic process. But going back to this article, one email between Trump's top advisors showed that many of them were informed of problems naming Trump's electors in Michigan, a state he had lost, because pandemic rules had closed the state capitol building. The email showed that the participants in the discussions reported details of their activities to Rudolph W. Giuliani, Trump's personal lawyer, Mark Meadows, and other White House staff. Around the time of January 6th, Mr. Meadows emailed another campaign advisor saying, quote, we just need to have someone coordinating the electors for states. And here's where Boris Epshteyn comes in. Many of the emails went to Mr. Epshteyn, who was acting as a coordinator for people inside and outside the Trump campaign and the White House and remains a close aide to Trump to this day. Mr. Epshteyn, the email showed, was a regular point of contact for John Eastman, the absolute traitorous dude, the lawyer who was planning to derail the congressional certification on January 6th. He basically cooked up that whole plan. Mr. Epshteyn not only fielded and passed along to Giuliani the detailed proposal for January 6th prepared by Eastman, he also handled questions about how to pay Eastman and made the arrangements for him to visit the White House on January 4th. Okay, so you guys get who Epshteyn is. He is a terrible human being, and to no surprise, he is beefing with another terrible human being, Elon Musk. And again, the cracks are showing because this isn't about policy anymore. It's about control. Musk doesn't have any specific policy proposals. Have you ever heard Elon Musk talk about policy? No, he just memes. Musk accused Epstein of leaking cabinet discussions to the media. He made multiple accusations leading to a blow-up in Mar-a-Lago that insiders called a massive ego clash. Let's read this. Why this matters. The friction between Elon Musk and Boris Epshteyn, a top advisor who's pushed for the cabinet picks that include Matt Gaetz for Attorney General, surfaced in public last week. It signaled a rivalry stemming over Musk's growing influence on the president-elect to the dismay of Trump's loyalists, or some of Trump's loyalists. And listen, I've been saying on my show for a while that it's bound to happen. And it's not just Elon Musk and Donald Trump beefing, it's the people around Donald Trump who all so desperately want his attention. They want the power, and Elon Musk now has that power. So it's actually about Musk beefing with the people in Trump's inner circle. Now, Musk may think he's calling the shots here, but it's funny because in Trump's world, everybody's a pawn. Listen to this. Musk, who fueled Trump's election effort by giving at least $119 million, has questioned whether Epshteyn has too much influence in Trump's selections, especially his top Justice Department picks and the White House counsel. Three people familiar with the conversations told Axios, and this really does remind me of Game of Thrones or House of Cards or anything of the sort, where people are constantly stabbing each other in the back for power. So now we have Musk trying to undermine Epshteyn and say, hey, don't listen to this guy's picks, and probably vice versa. At the same time, Musk has begun to push for his own cabinet favorites. Epshteyn has bristled at Musk's questioning the qualifications of Epstein's favorite candidates, two of the sources said. Again, Epshteyn has bristled whenever Musk questions the qualifications of Epstein's candidates. Now, to zoom in, their rocky relationship came to a head last Wednesday during a heated discussion at a dinner table in front of other guests at Trump's Mar-a-Lago club. Three people familiar with the episode told Axios. At one point, during what the sources described as a massive blowup and huge explosion, Musk accused Epshteyn of leaking details of Trump's transition, including personnel picks, to the media. Musk is getting paranoid. Musk's ego is so big, he's overstaying his welcome to such an extent that he's throwing Trump's top advisors under the bus at a public dinner at Mar-a-Lago with other guests there, not even caring about the repercussions. So here's the bigger picture. Trump's incompetence always gets in the way, so it's not surprising to me that he has a bunch of people around him who are going to start fighting immediately. I mean, just look at Trump's pick of AG. Matt Gaetz. All of these people are so incompetent. It drips, it oozes incompetence. So, listen to this again. At one point during this public dinner, sources described a massive blowup and a huge explosion where Musk accused Epshteyn of leaking details of Trump's transition to the media. Epshteyn responded by telling Musk that he didn't know what he was talking about. You know that hurt Musk badly. The rift between Musk and Epshteyn wasn't a surprise to Trump senior staffers and confidants who've seen tensions between them bubble during the transition meetings at Mar-a-Lago that shortly began after the November 5th election. Now, Epshteyn, who coordinated the legal defense in Trump's criminal cases, was a big influence in all of Trump's presidential appointments last week. Those appointments included Gaetz as Attorney General, William McGinley as White House counsel, and some of Trump's criminal lawyers like Todd Blanche and Emil Bove to the top DOJ posts. But Musk, meanwhile, is making a late push for Trump transition co-chair Howard Lutnick, and that's how this all started, over Howard Lutnick. So, Musk is pushing for Howard Lutnick to be the Treasury Secretary instead of fund manager Scott Bessent. I'm sure Musk has his own weird motivations. Musk did, of course, leverage his massive platform, X, and said, would be interesting to hear more people weigh in on this for the real Donald Trump pick. My view, for what it's worth, is that Bessent is a business-as-usual choice, whereas Howard Lutnick will actually enact change. So he is vying for Howard Lutnick here. Business as usual is driving America bankrupt, so we need change one way or another. So here's Elon Musk using this usual populist outsider rhetoric saying Lutnick is the one who will absolutely shake up America. He will enact change. You do not want business as usual. I personally like business as usual. I liked that Biden signaled stability abroad. Meanwhile, Donald Trump can't even be trusted by our biggest NATO allies. So, state of play. Many people in Trump's orbit like having Musk around or have found ways to work with him. Musk is well liked by VP J.D. Vance, conservative commentator Tucker Carlson, Don Jr. and Eric. Trump's granddaughter, Kai Trump, even posted that Musk had reached uncle status, but Musk's involvement in the transition process and near constant presence at Mar-a-Lago has begun to wear on some who have been in Trump's inner circle longer than he has, and who see him as overstepping his role in the transition. NBC reported this week, we knew that President-elect Trump had included Musk on a recent call with Ukrainian President Vladimir Zelensky. Musk also plans to work with Republican businessman Vivek Ramaswamy for some dumb Department of Governmental Efficiency. We'll talk about that in another video. I also want to talk to you guys about Morning Joe meeting with Donald Trump. Do you guys want to hear a video about Morning Joe and Donald Trump meeting? It's pretty absurd, but we can break it down. Make sure you drop a like, subscribe. And look, I know it's hard to engage with the news right now. I get the instinct to just check out because it always hurts to lose an election, especially one this important to a candidate who has built his career off of breaking every single unspoken norm in America. But we still have the power to mobilize for positive change, and that's what I want everybody to do. Whether it's canvassing or phone banking or getting ready for the next midterm, if you need to check out for a bit, that's fine, but come back and we need to keep fighting because we know that Trump and the Republican Party want us to tune out. If we tune out now, we'll be giving them exactly what they want because they want nothing more than to go unchecked and unchallenged for Trump's second term. So we need to be here to fight back. And that's why I'm working with Ground News. This video is brought to you by Ground News, a partnership that I wouldn't even consider unless I truly believed in their platform and their ability to drive change, to bring clarity to these issues at a crazy, crazy time. They're independent, and their app and website allows you to see through mainstream and media narratives and keep both sides in mind. For every single story, you get to see which news sources are reporting on it, even independent ones left out of the mainstream media bubble, with transparency on their political bias, transparency on their credibility, and even who's funding that conversation or that media company. The spin on coverage has already started with the Trump presidency, and it's being framed in different ways across the media. For example, Fox News immediately said Trump vows to lead golden age of America in victory speech, fix everything, and Ground News has them labeled as right with mixed factuality, and they are a media conglomerate owned by the Murdoch family, so that explains a lot. In the middle, we have Reuters. Trump claims victory after Fox News projects he has won U.S. presidency. Now, they are center of the road with high factuality. I like Reuters a lot, so they had a pretty moderate headline. And finally, we have MSNBC, which is left-leaning and has mixed factuality. It reads, Donald Trump defeats Kamala Harris to secure second term. This is who we are now. And they say reality has a liberal bias, so that is an accurate headline. We deserve to have transparency in all of the news that we read every single day so we can hold our elected officials accountable, especially in this tumultuous time. And I truly feel Ground News can help you guys with that. If you're looking for a way to stay informed without getting overwhelmed by what's to come, Ground News is having their biggest sale yet. You can buy the top tier vintage plan, the one that I use, for a limited time at ground.news/am, the same exact plan I've been using at ground.news/am. I hope we can stay engaged, build an even bigger community, and thank you guys for watching. Thank you to Ground News. This video would not be possible without you guys.